Good day and welcome everyone. It is my pleasure and honor to host Mr. Firmino Macuacua from Nosa Seguros in Angola. Firmino, welcome on board.
Hello, Simba. Good day. And Simba, I would like to congratulate you for the brilliant idea of having this forum, which allows interact with the market, international market or international wise, which is very good. It allows professionals to exchange ideas, interests, and wanting to explore other territories from people who are based in different territories than they are based in. I think this is fantastic. Again, congratulations on that.
Thank you very much for the kind words. Where did you start and how did it go up to now?
I started working at Angola, Mozambique in 2007 as an assistant to bank assurance division, and then direct channel. I started very much on the basics, doing vehicle inspections for motor on damage, taking photos and looking at the car details at the client's premises. So that's exactly where I started. And going back to the office and data capturing, to then do assist in the writing, desk underwriting, and then became an underwriter and a business development officer. I've been to the broker side as well in Mozambique for a year and a half. It was a great experience, and went back to Holland and continued my career until 2017. That's when I moved to Angola and joined Nosa Seguros, where I'm based today as the reinsurance director or reinsurance manager.
You started from the bottom, if I get it well, and you have actually gone far, and now you're an expatriate professional. What would you say is the one factor or maybe two that you think you have done right in your career up to so far?
I think, I'm certain, today I'm certain that it was worth going that extra mile. I've always believed that it would never be enough for me to learn enough from insurance. It took a while to get through the insurance concepts and have the knowledge and understand what's risk in the insurance field.
Yep.
And I think that that extra mile, it has contributed a lot for my career growth.
Yeah.
And always learning, always asking questions, and trying to understand how to improve on doing the way things are done. How can we improve what we do in every day? I think that has contributed a lot for me to grow.
Yeah. So that's a lot of hard work, a lot of extra hours, curiosity, asking the questions, and so forth.
Exactly.
That's really very encouraging. I think sometimes people really wonder how is it possible for you to make it in an industry, and there is one person, you have made it in Mozambique, you have made it in Angola, and probably you're still going. You have really very good potential to do so. Now, you have had a very rich experience from bank assurance, claims, underwriting, reinsurance. Which part of the profession would you say is very interesting for you or was very interesting for you? And if you had to do it all over again, you take another chance to do so?
Underwriting is another world. It's a never-ending world. I love what I do. I love reinsurance. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Underwriting is you get in contact with different risks every day, and each risk has its own specifics.
Yeah.
And look at different risks. It just enriches your knowledge in understanding how to look at particular risk, and specifically in Mozambique and in Angola, where it's not as developed as where our insurance are sitting in Europe or or Japan or Brazil or US, we have challenges
Yeah.
where risks are not at their best,
Mm.
but also it's not like everything is catching fire all every day. So
Yeah.
you need to adjust what you've learned on the books and adjust to the reality in which you're settled.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting field. Yeah, I've always liked that, and but I love what I do. Reinsurance is also interesting in its own way. Yeah.
Mm, So my experience as an underwriter also is that it can be very scary at times, and you live in a world where one day you issued a policy, tomorrow you wake up, there's a building on fire, and you check and it's in your books and you are responsible. How do you calm your nerves? How do you live with that?
Well, what one this is an interesting thing that we did at Hollard.
Yeah.
Back at was whenever there was a claim that involved any of our clients, any of the clients that we have underwritten, we would ask for the file and see what happened.
Mm.
How could we have underwritten better, or what if there was any cover that was given by mistake that we shouldn't have given, if we had exposed the company or not, if it was everything in order and it was a genuine claim. So I think we've learned that team that was at the technical division at Holland at the time. It grew a lot from that.
Yeah.
From the claims that we had that we were experiencing, we were taking back those claims and analyzing how were those risks underwritten, looked at those risks, and what was the decision back then.
Yeah.
So I think that helps a lot, underwriting.
Okay. So there is a sense of a team ownership if there's a claim, not that it sits on one person's head and so forth. Does that really help someone to say, okay, when things are okay, we take the risks, and when things go bad, the company takes responsibility?
Exactly. It has to be a team. I mean, it's a huge responsibility to have your signature on a risk.
Yeah.
So if that is transformed on a team responsibility,
Mm.
it make things lighter.
Yeah.
And it becomes a great environment to work at.
Yeah. So at the moment you are an expatriate in Angola. How do you say your experience have been, and what are some of the challenges that you have faced as an expatriate, and how have you overcome them?
Well, today I don't feel as an expatriate. I feel very much as if I've lived all my life here.
Yeah.
It's been very interesting times here in Angola. I like very much the country, Luanda specifically. It's where I'm based.
Yes.
I like the people here. I like the food here. I like the atmosphere here, the weather, uh, and I've also like the atmosphere in Mozambique because it's beautiful in its own way.
Yeah.
The people there are friendly, so also easier. But I mean, the two places have their own beauty, and I don't one can exact compare the two. And I've been very fortunate to be well received from by the colleagues and also industry colleagues as well from other insurance companies. I mean,
Yeah.
I've always been treated as any other Angola would be treated, and I think that's the beauty of being outside your country and feel at home. I think that's it's great.
Yeah, but sometimes I suppose that also comes with having a pleasant personality. As Firmino, you have a pleasant personality, and I think that definitely should help in even your host accepting you and working with you. What are some of the lessons that you would share with fellow expatriate workers around there to say, what, this is one or two things that I think you can do or that you can avoid to make sure that even the people who are hosting you can also accept you and work with you?
What I would recommend is um, take it easy, and don't force things.
Yeah.
And be develop empathy in trying to understand what are what are the basis of the other person's point of view, especially when the other person doesn't have the same cultural background as you have.
Yeah.
Uh, I come from Mozambique, and there's a different culture background in Mozambique than there is in Angola. But I understand that that poses as different um, grounds from where I come from and people from Angola.
Yeah.
So the knowledge that I was fortunate to acquire during my career might not have this being the same as my colleagues at work.
Yes.
So the way in which I will transmit that, I think it has to be taking into considerations in which culture I'm dealing with,
Mhm.
and how does that culture accept information.
Thank you very much for the valuable insights there and the powerful advice that you are giving. To a great extent, I agree with you that at the end of the day, relationships are reciprocal. You
Exactly.
probably get what you give into the relationships, and which brings us to the topic that you mentioned about skills transfer and training. This is one of the aspects that we strongly believe in as Mukfin. In as much as we're a reinsurance broker, we believe that we need to have as much input into our clients so that whatever quality of business that we get from the clients is the good standards of what we intend to churn out as a reinsurance broker. So, and that's one also aspect that I understand you strongly believe in. Maybe you can give us a background as to why and why do you think that is so?
We understand that we have people from at different levels. You have juniors, you have seniors, and you have experts.
Yeah.
But as the company is growing, there's need for refreshment. There's
Mhm.
need for for training and development of juniors.
Mhm.
Have a team that's performing at its best. I'm not the one doing the training, but what I do is assisting the company in reaching out to people who can do that training.
Yeah.
And what I then contribute is I mean, off session to clarify any doubts that people might have.
Mhm.
And but the result is what I had said before. The result is that we have a team that when we go back to look at risks, we wear the same hats.
Yeah.
We understand. We now know what are we looking at and how can we best respond to that request. That's the pleasant side of the work that I do, is to assist in training and development of people. I think that I tend to develop a passion on that. Yeah.
Thank you so much for that. Last word from you. Anything you wish to share? Any last comments?
I would appeal for the youngsters, right? Who've just joined the industry and are feeling vibrant and falling in love with insurance. Welcome. This is an interesting world. This is a never-ending world. Keep learning. continue to learn, investigate, and ask questions, and do not settle for 8 to 5 working hours a day.
Yeah.
It's not going to take you there. It doesn't mean you sit in the office doing nothing or just looking at the computer. It means finish up what you didn't manage to do. It means do some filing, which 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 allows you to structure your work better. You will only understand that at a later stage. Make network, local and international, to understand what are the views of a different underwriter that enriches as one would look at risks. You need to develop a character. You need to develop a good character, and you need to watch yourself. You need to know where you'd like to be, and how are you moving towards that. And sometimes life will give you lemons, and if you haven't developed the right character, you wouldn't know how to make a lemonade out of those lemons.
Yeah.
And I've seen people throwing the towel to the floor and giving up on a brilliant career. Fortunate. But whilst you are enjoying this vibrant stage of your life, learn to make lemonades, because you might come through a moment where you feel like you sitting lemons, and if you haven't learned how to make lemonades, that will have a significant impact on your career, and you might feel like giving up. So everyone goes through those phases in life. So yeah, lemonades are tasteful and pleasant, refreshing, so that you don't lose passion to what you do, and so that when that phase is over, you haven't lost your professionalism.
Yeah.
You serve that professionalism through doing what you love and what you have passion for. So yeah, never give up, keep learning.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Firmino. My takeaway from there is work hard, develop a good character, never give up, keep pushing. That's probably the best advice anyone could get. And at this stage, you qualify to be Uncle Firmino to a lot of youngsters. Thank you so much for that advice.
Thank you.